Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back. We are working on our hardcover trifold using the Shabby, Chic, and Not So Shabby collections from Artymaze. We've got the foundation put together. I've got the signatures here with papers in them. I'm hoping they're not too thick. I may have to remove a couple of pages because this already lays pretty flat here, and I'm wondering if the three folders, once you put things in them, but we'll see. Today we're going to work on the folders, and well, I guess I should show you this whole thing in case you're just tuning in. There is a playlist for this, but this is two Reader's Digests that have been attached in the center. The back of this book and the front cover of this book have been overlapped here, and I have added a chipboard spine reinforcement, and then wrapped both in the linen fabric, and then we've matted with the beautiful pages from the Shabby, Chic, and Not So Shabby collections. And then the signatures are just a mixture of paper, what I normally put in, coffee dyed, some designer pages, and envelopes. And I'm thinking I might need to take the envelope out. That adds quite a bit of bulk. So maybe just taking the envelope out would work, but we'll work on that later, figure that out. If we're doing a wraparound binding, so I'm not going to sew the signatures together because I was going to just run them on my machine, and then we'll slide them under the ribbon and they'll be able to be removed. But I'm not going to sew them together until I know everything fits, whether I need to remove the envelope or a couple more pages or whatever. Then I'll go and sew them up. But anyway, today we have we're going to do the folders for the right spine. And I have printed 3 of the pages from I don't know which one is which. One is from Shabby Chic or what. It's in either one of the collections. Both of them will be linked below. But we want to make some file folders for the right hand side. I have printed these out on cardstock. I believe it's 110-pound cardstock, and then the back I printed coffee dyed. I did not coffee dye them because I didn't want them to wrinkle, so I printed coffee dyed paper on the back just so they wouldn't be that stark white. I'm going to use my envelope punch board to do the tabs, but first we need to score. Actually, we need to cut. Now I noticed Dawn did not trim hers down. She said she left them full size at 11, but when I folded a little, you can see where I've been making notes and punching and making mistakes and doing things here to see how it works. This did not fit in my book very well. Well, it wouldn't fit on this side, it'd be on this side, but when I did this and tried to close the book, my tabs got curled up like this, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to trim 1 inch off of these, and let's see, which side do I want to trim? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess this will be the front. I don't want to really, I'm going to trim on this side. I guess I could do a 1/2 inch on either side, but I think I'm just going to do 1 inch on this side. For now, let's see what happens. Well, that didn't cut. I changed out this strip and flipped it around, and I'm having a real hard time getting it to cut, so I'm thinking I might need to replace the blade. I thought that was the whole point, was that you weren't supposed to, I'll just use my scissors, you weren't supposed to need to replace the blade. And maybe I'm just a wimp and not pressing hard enough. Who knows? Alright, so that is 10 by 8.5. And this one, I guess it doesn't really matter which side. Let's see. Try and do that. There we go. Of course, then my arm will be sore for days. Now, it probably would have worked better if I had done, well, maybe not. I was going to say it might have worked better if I had done a pattern that was vertical, but then you'd have the right way up on this side and upside down on the other side. So it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is score the flap on the bottom. And the reason I'm doing that is so that I will know where to put the tabs. So, find my tool. This is 8.5, so I want to score at 6.5. We're going to have a 2-inch pocket. And as it turns out, this isn't even going to be shown that it's upside down. That's cool. All right. So we will have that piece. But that way, as long as that's scored, I'll know where to put my 3 tabs. And I'll show you that in a minute. I am not going to fold this way until after the tabs are done and cut the excess, because I want to make sure where that half is going to be. Otherwise, I'll end up with one that has, you know, a bunch of different folds. Now, which way does this go? I think the wood, there's writing up here. Okay, I think this is the bottom, so there again, I won't have to worry about it looking upside down, because that's going to be just fine, just like that. That looks wonderful. All right, and then one last one. Now this one, the butterfly is going to be a little bit upside down, but that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So we are going to use the envelope punch board for the tabs. I just like the way it looks. Now I need to decide which order I want these in. I think I'm going to put this one in the middle. And yeah, maybe I'll do it like that. Okay, so if I'm going to fold these in half like this, their tab will go here. So I'm going to center this up. Now, I don't know, I'm going to show you as best I can. There is a score line here, and there is a score guide here. Where they come together at a point right here is the alignment that I'm looking for the edge of the page. Okay? So I'm going to line that up right on that mark and punch. Okay, that gives me this. All right, now I'm going to move this edge down to, you know, I did 3, but I think I'm going to do 2.5. Let's just do, no, let's do 3. Otherwise, I'll be messed up on the math. And I'm, you know, I'm not worried about exact. All right, so that's our tab. We need to cut off this piece. So we will do that. We're going to open it back up because we want to cut it all the way down. And I don't know why I couldn't do this last night. I messed it all up. But I think I finally figured it out. So I'm going to line up the edge of the paper here and the edge of this here to give me this line to cut. And I think that will be pretty accurate. I'm only going to cut the bottom portion. Oh, it moved. Don't let it move. Okay, well, it moved anyway. I need to sharpen my blade again. All right, so this is going to go this way. Now we can fold it, and I probably, let's see, this is, yeah, see, it's not an exact measurement. It's like 9 5/8. It's a weird measurement. So I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to go all the way to the corner there, and then use my, well, I was going to use my bone folder, but I don't see it. So, oh, there it is, right in front of me. It was this way. I was looking right through it. And I am just going to pull this out, like so. Now, I want to make a corner here that matches this corner. So I'm going to tuck that back in there in that same spot and punch. Okay, so now I've got my folder, not worried about this corner here, and this should fit in my book. Yeah, that'll be better. That will fit, and I'll have a little bit, maybe 1/4 of an inch to spare. So, all right, that works. All right, so let's do the center one. The center one is a little trickier. So, this is the one I want in the center, and I have to think this through every time. The folder is going to be folded this way, so my tab goes on this side. All right, so I'm going to mark the middle of this here. Let's do it without that. Not the middle of the whole page, but from that score line, I'm going to measure the middle. I'm going to use the centering thingamajigger. Looks like it's about 3 1/4. Yeah, because we scored at 1/2, right? All right, so that makes sense. Let me get my pencil, and I'm just going to put a little tick on the center, because I'm going to measure 1.5 inches from either side of that to make my punch. Okay, so that little tick mark is going to go at 1.5. Is that right? Yeah. And then I'm going to punch. And I don't have a measurement. This is the one thing I wish that the envelope punch board had. I wish it had measurements on the side. Because I need to come over here 1.5 inches, and it's not necessarily the same. So I'm going to come on this way. So I need to mark that little place. And it's going to be, what did we say, 3 1/4. So I'll put that little, it's almost right on that little line there. Yeah, so I come over to 1.5 and punch. Okay, so on this one we want to keep the center punch. We're going to cut off this piece and this piece. All right, so I'm going to use both of these dips as an alignment, and then I'm going to trim this piece. If I go slower, I have less problems. And I'm going to, you know what, I'm just going to make that go higher and just do it. I should have done it all at once. There we go. Because I just need to cut this little piece. Like that. Alright, so now we have this, and we have our center tab. And if we want those same corners, we'll have to trace around them and do them. I can still punch this one. And then when I bring this up to fold, and remember I'm lining it all the way up. Sorry if I'm out of screen. This is really thick right here where that fold is, and we're going to fix that in a minute. Then I can just, excuse me, trace this little doohickey here and cut that corner off. I try to avoid this when I can because I'm not very good at cutting these kinds of things without bending. All right, so there we have the center tab. Okay, they are going to overlap a little bit because I'm doing 3 inches and you know the page is only 6.5, so let's get that pencil mark off. And I am going to ink around these as well. So we have first, second, now let's do the third. Now the third, let me get this blade out of here before I get myself all these little scraps. Alright, so there again, this is the side I want my tab. But I'm going to measure, go right where that score line at the 2 inches that you did, just go in there and punch, and then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to line this up at 3 inches, the score line, which is really hard to see, but it's right on this line here. Okay, and punch. All right, so there again we have to cut a top piece and a bottom piece. We were really close to where I drew. You could just trace a file folder if you want. I just thought it would be kind of more uniform if I did it this way. I don't know, maybe not. Sometimes I overcomplicate things. All right, so let's cut off the bottom piece. Let's cut off the top piece. Okay, now we have our bottom fold. We're going to bring this up. There we go. That should be even. And then I guess we're going to line up this corner here. I'm lifting this up above here so it, and just punching that corner. So, alright. I don't know why I traced it last time. Because it wasn't aligned with the tab on this one, and I could have punched them together on this one. Okay, so there we go. We've got tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. So, I'm almost wishing I had put a complimentary design on the back, but that's okay. So let's finish these pockets now. We've got the hardest part done, which is the tabs. So basically what I'm going to do is glue down the side here, and I think I'm going to have to trim this little bit because that's where my knife slid. And I'm just going to sew this, or glue that part down. But we have this bulk in the center, so we need to get rid of this. So the easiest way to do this, rather than try and cut on this side and this side and make it even, is just to fold it in half. And from this fold, cut to the edge. Now I'm going to use a ruler. You could do it with your scissors. I don't want it to be humongous, so I'm gonna draw my line so I know where I want to cut it. And you want to make sure it goes all the way to that score line. There we go. Then when you open this, you have a little bit of space in between. So the only thing I need to do on this is glue down the sides. So let's do that. And then we've got our little folders. Actually, yeah, that's okay. I don't need to ink inside the pocket. Don't glue here. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but if you don't, then you're able to put a little bit more bulk inside the pocket, if that makes sense. Okay. And I do see that I didn't go all the way down, so it's kind of pulling there, so I'm just going to get that little piece out. There we go. Once I ink that, it won't show. It would have been easier to ink these, but they have some inking around them already, so not going to worry about it right now. Okay, there we go. That's all there is to it. So that's the folders. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of them, and then we'll get on to some of the decorating of some of the pages. I'm not going to worry about the cover right now, but I'll be back as soon as I clear off my desk. Okay, so I've got them all inked, and I guess it's good that this is blank because you can label it there. Just a suggestion that I thought of after the fact. This corner right here before you fold it up might be cute. Cut to, you know, like these corners. Not the one that's folded, not the one that's on the fold, but this edge before you fold it up. Then it'll have a little decorative edge going in, which I think would be cute. But either way, we have them all and they're perfectly staggered, and those are going to be fun to put tickets and tags and all the ephemera in that goes with this journal. I'm going to wait on decorating the cover until we're finished, like I usually do, because I'm not sure exactly what I want to do on the cover, because I chose this beautiful cover and I don't want to necessarily cover it up. I have this doily, and so I'm thinking, just go with my processes here for a minute, I'm thinking of attaching this here and you know, gluing that on there so that it will be on the cover as well as wrap around to the back. And then maybe what I'll do is print this page on cardstock, and then do the focal point again, maybe with some cheesecloth, some other lace, and some bling and things. So that's what I'm thinking at the moment. We'll see. I don't even know what this is called. Is this Battenberg lace? It looks like it's ribbon, but it's crocheted together in places. So I don't know what this is, and I don't even know where it came from. I just saw it on the shelf and I thought, that'll work. It was under something in the kitchen, so I thought I will try that. But anyway, so the next thing we want to do, since we're not going to decorate that, is go ahead and get these signatures out of here. I'll put them with the folders, is work on this. Okay, so there is going to be a pocket with a tag booklet inside. So the pocket, in order to accommodate the tag booklet, needs to be a little bit thicker, and so I noticed what Dawn did on hers was use one of the envelopes from the kit. So let me get an envelope from the kit and we'll start working on that. Okay, so apparently, I don't know if it's a blessing or not, but apparently my camera did not record the last segment that I did here, and we were working on this pocket here. So I'm going to recap just in case I may find it, but if not, this is an envelope from one of the kits. It was 2 to a page. The larger one was too big for the width of this page. So I've used the smaller one. It is 28-pound paper, therefore I glued the whole thing down, and I've kept the flap for something else, another project. I took the tags from the ephemera pack, and one had 4 on a sheet, one had 3 on a sheet. I taped them together with a little bit of the 3M micropore tape. I inked the whole thing, folded it up, and added a ribbon to the top. Now I'm going to look for a small bit of skinny lace to wrap around here, because I tried this, it's too thick, and I tried the this one and it's too thick. So I'm going to look for some rayon lace that I have around here and maybe make like a belly band type thing. But for now, our booklet goes in this pocket. And I'm going to get things together to do, this has a double stacked pocket page. This one has a couple of pockets from the collection with the a collage. And then I don't remember exactly what was on this page. I'm sure it's some kind of pocket, because we have pockets in here. And yeah, so I'm going to get that together. We'll work on that tomorrow. And then we'll do our wraparound spines and put everything in the book. And then I'll add some lace to the ends, and that's it. It will be done. It's not difficult. It's fun. I want to thank Dawn for doing this tutorial, because I love it. This is fabulous. And I thought it would be really heavy, but it's not. The Reader's Digest books are not that heavy. So I think even with everything inside, we've got the 3 signatures that will be here, and then we have the folders that will be here. So, and then these will close together like that. This will go like that. This will go like that. I think with the ribbon we're still going to be okay, size-wise. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you next time.